Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Michelle and this is Michelle Creates. In this video, I am going to show you how to do a latch hook. And this is actually a project. It's a kit and it's for a pillowcase cover. So this whole thing came together and I'm just going to show you quick the supplies that you're going to need. The kit comes together with the hook, the yarn. It has your graph that you're going to be following, and it also includes your pillowcase cover, okay, or whatever you purchase. What I grabbed on my own is a Sharpie marker. You're going to want that, and a pair of sewing scissors. And I'm also grabbing I'm also grabbing a piece of cardstock paper, because as you can see, the inside of this, there's a backing to it, and it's a little bit harder for me to see the colors, the different colors. So watch, I'm going to put the paper in here and it's going to help pick up those colors a little bit better. Okay, it's just an option. I think it's mainly so for the viewers, so you guys can see the colors here better. First thing I'm going to want to do is figure out where I'm going to start this project. And because it is a pattern that's completely symmetrical, you're going to want to start dead smack in the center so your pattern doesn't go off on either side. So what I'm going to do to figure that out is I fold this in quarters, and that will help me, because when they put this on, they sew it together, it doesn't always go on straight. You know how fabric is. And also when they stamp this, the color, the pattern on there, it's not always straight either. So folding this as accurate as possible, I'm figuring out where my dead center is. And what I did was, I'm going to take the Sharpie, and that's my center right there. I'm just making little tick marks. Okay, and I'm going to go up a row, and then I'll be able to follow that from there. So with this, I already marked what I'm locating as center. I do want to start there in this, the middle of that flower. So right here, yep, I've got my tick marks. That's my center. So let's get my paper back in, and that will pick up that color a little bit better. You can also put a pillowcase in there, a piece of fabric. I just figured everyone's got a piece of paper, copy paper. And I grabbed cardstock so it's a little bit thicker. And I'm going to get this a little bit straighter. So go like that. All right, so right here, I'm following a pattern for my center. Right in the very middle, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm going to work on, this row. And going with my key here, and also the colors on here, I'm grabbing number 12. And these are all the pre-cut yarn that came with the kit. So I usually just grab a little handful, lay it on my thing here so it's easy to reach. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is this right here where that center is. And here's how you latch hook. So you take your yarn, fold it in half, make sure the strands are even, grab your hook, and I'm going to stick that hook underneath that little tick mark that I made, and insert the yarn right there. You're going to catch the yarn with the hook, okay? And then I'm going to pull the yarn, or I'm going to pull the hook down. Okay, there's a little latch on here. So that is going to hold my yarn in place. So that closed up. Then I'm going to push the hook back up, stick the yarn underneath the hook, start to pull my hook towards me, and that latch will close, and then just pull on the yarn. And that is how you attach the yarn onto your mesh canvas. Okay, and let's grab another one. So now, because I'm doing 5 here, okay, I got the first one, the middle one. Now I'm going to go to the left and do 1, I like to work in the center first. That way I've got this completely centered, obviously, but I like to work at least the one color in the center to establish my pattern here. Okay, one more for this row to the left. So I fold my yarn in half, stick the hook in underneath, okay, all the way till you get past that latch. Put the yarn on the hook, pull your yarn towards you, just enough to get the yarn underneath that line there. Push your hook back out, grab onto the, or pull the yarn over onto the hook, start pulling the hook towards you, and that's going to close that latch up, and then just pull the yarn or pull the hook towards you, and then I tug on the strands a little bit, okay, and they're all nice and even, and the knot is fairly tight. Now I do have a beginner video to teach you how to actually latch hook. I'm going a little faster on this, so if this is too fast for you as far as how to actually do the latch hook, go find that other video. It's just beginner latch hook. This is just more starting a project and getting you situated and starting it in the center. Okay, so now I've already done 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to move over to the right and do 2 more. So I've already folded my yarn, and it's the same color, and insert the hook, get that latch down, hook your yarn, pull the latch towards you, push it back up to open up that latch, grab the yarn with your hook and pull the hook towards you, and then I just give it a little tug and make sure the strands are even. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have one more of this color in this little section. Sometimes that latch wants to close up on me, and so I just got to push that down. Okay, now I do want to finish this section here with this color, so I am going to go up. I'm going to go up 1 row, and I have 3 that I need to do in that row. So I'm going to go here. This is 1. I don't know, sometimes you don't have to pull on the yarn to tighten it. I like to just tug on it a little bit just to get that a little bit tighter on there. Here's 2. It just makes it look neater. I've seen it where people don't pull on that yarn after you pull it through, meaning, you know, once the hook is out and then you pull on that knot a little bit. I've seen where people don't do that, and it just doesn't look as neat. I know if you have a really big project, it's probably too time consuming to do all that, but I don't know. You don't want your work to look sloppy, so taking that extra little time. Sometimes the yarn strands themselves are a little bit more, they're a little bit more thick and fuzzy, and so some yarns you have to do that and some you don't. So you just kind of have to eyeball it and check it out and see how you're liking the results. All right, I'm going to go up 1 more row. Okay, so we're going to finish off this little part here. And this latch likes to bounce around, meaning it likes to close when I need it to be open. All right, now we're going to flip these up, get them out of my way, because I'm going to finish off this section here. I've got 3 in this row, and I'm just working left to right. You can work right to left, it doesn't matter. Now because I'm starting in the center, yes, I have my yarn above my hook. I typically like to go from the bottom up, but sometimes I just pick a certain color and jump around my canvas here and just do, you know, certain colors. So you can have the yarn on top, on the bottom. You can kind of do what you want, but if you're having a hard time because the yarn is these above here, pick sections from below and work your way from the bottom up. And I've got one more in this row of this color. Yep, my little latch wants to stay closed. I've done so many of these pillow covers. They're actually durable. They're washable and they're so pretty. It's so fun to change your pillow covers for different seasons or just to switch things around. It's funny because even though you think, oh, they're decorative, I have people that come over to my house and I have them on the sofa and they just help themselves and they lay on it, whatever, and they're like, oh, it's so comfy and soft and it doesn't ruin the yarn at all. It's kind of funny how I would think people would go, oh no, I don't want to touch that, and they don't. They actually prefer to lay on it. It's really funny. Not to sleep over or anything, but just, you know, when they're watching a movie or whatever. All right, so what is the Sharpie for? Well, typically what I'll do is to keep track of where I'm at, I will go ahead and mark these out. So let's say all of a sudden I decide I want to count and move over to this red section here. I'll use my Sharpie to mark out the rows that I'm doing. When you're doing these patterns too, you really want to follow the grid on here and not necessarily on here, because sometimes it gets off, meaning the colors might be off one, and so you're counting here like 5 and then all of a sudden you only see like 4. I tend to do this. I tend to follow this more. And again, what you want to do is you want to work from the center out. So what I would do next probably is, because I want to work from the center out, I might take the yarn and do a row here. I'll do this color, then I'll switch and do this color and actually latch hook all the way down. And then I'll go from left to right, okay, from the center over, but I'll start at the bottom. And I'll start down here and I'll go left to right, row by row. And then I'll go on this side, right to left, row by row. So that way everything is staying right in the center, because you'll find on the ends a lot of the times, whether it's just a rug or a pillow cover, that the ends here don't necessarily match the ends on here. So it's better to have the main part of your project completed versus your ends. Your middle part will be weird. Okay, so I do want to introduce one more color. So I'm going to do this orange. E is the letter, and all of these are stamped on the side. So orange E is actually number 17. It will show that right on here. And usually you have more than enough yarn to work with these kits. So let's say a piece of yarn got kind of fuzzy or something, or it started to split, like I had one split before on another project. Don't worry, you don't need to use every single piece. You'll have more than enough. In fact, I have 2 of these containers full of extra yarn from other pillow covers that I've done. So I actually bought plain canvas, mesh canvas, and I'm gonna create my own. Probably a Picasso looking thing, because I don't have enough color of each, so I'll probably just like randomly throw it on there. All right, so the next part I'm going to do, because I want to work a little bit more in this center here, I'm going to go down and I'm going to do the 2 down here. So you don't have to do the entire row, because that's a lot of counting. So I'm going to pick this orange right underneath here, and this will help me get a guide. Okay, this kind of moved a little bit, so it wasn't going to be even, so I wanted to fix that before I pulled it through. All right, pulling it through, catching the yarn, and pull it through. I like this color. And then I have one more underneath that of orange. So I fold my yarn first, stick my hook in, and put the yarn on the hook. I'm going over to the left a little bit to avoid that yarn that's above here. Pull it through, push it back out, catch the yarn on the hook, and then pull it through. Give it a little tug, tighten that up. All right, so let's just say I had to step away for a second. I'm going to want to mark these so I don't lose track of where I am. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab the next color, C, and that is number 10. So I got number 10 here. Don't try to guess on the colors because just looking at that picture, it's all the same color basically. It's that, you know, that light lemon yellow, but they're not. So you really want to look at the key and look at the numbers on the side of each pack here. And I've done other things besides just pillow covers. So each of these kits are basically the same. They're designed the same. All right, so I'm working on letter C here, and there's 3 of them. So I'm going to do the 3 underneath here. And I literally can't tell from that color that that's C. So you really can't follow. It's just a guideline, but you can't follow it to a T because the colors don't match. They look far closer on here than they do on this. Okay, so fold the yarn first. Insert the hook, get the latch down, grab the yarn, put the hook. You got to push that hook up far enough to get that latch past the knot there, or the loop, and pull it. Again, if you're having a hard time seeing what I'm doing on this one, go watch my other video. It's it explains it, the whole thing, and it's slow. All right, so I've got one more here for this 3 in a row of this color. And I'm going to mark this because I'm done. It really helps keep track, especially as you're counting. And if you find you're getting off in your counts, it's maybe because you're not keeping track of this close enough. All right, so what I would do next is I'm going to pick the next color here, and I might just do that chunk right in here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 across. So I probably do the 5 across, and then I'll go down to the next color, which is orange, and just kind of create this little section here in the center. And then I'll probably just start at the bottom here, like I said, and go left to right. Okay, so I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments regarding this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned. I have more videos coming, other projects, and lots of ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.